Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have this time is one of Chef Knives to Go sharpening sets. So this is their 4-piece sharpening set. This particular one has Suihiro Serax stones in it. So this is a very nice kit to get you started in the world of sharpening. What we've got here is a low grit 320 grit sharpening stone. Again, it's the Suihiro Serax series. And then we've got a 1000 grit and a medium grit stone. And you can get a screaming sharp edge with just those two, maybe a little stropping. We have the grippy stone holder that sits on your countertop and has a nice grip to it. It's got a little hanger hole on top, and this will sit on your countertop. Your stone sits in there. It's got a lip on it, so it'll catch some water, and then you can, drop that off your sink into the sink, and it helps keep your countertop from getting really messy. And then we have the 140 grit diamond plate, and this is used to either flatten the stones. When you use stones, they will start to dish or get a little lower in the places where you're using them most, and because you're wearing away material. For most people, that's in this middle section. They tend not to use these edges here as much, depending on how you sharpen. As you get more advanced, you can start to work those edges and keep that stone flatter. But initially, especially, you'll want to keep these nice and flat. And this stone hold, this 140 grit diamond plate makes that real easy. Also, you can use this for some heavy-duty metal removal. So if you've got a knife that's really dull or needs some work, you can use this to take the majority of that material off to get you a good solid starting point, and then you can hit the low grit and the medium grit stones off of that. So the Serax stones are really nice. They don't require a ton of soaking time. They have a nice feel, some good feedback to them. Just very solid stones. They cut quickly, and they're just good all around stones. They're kind of, I don't know, Goldilocks, if you will. They're just really well done, and a lot of people like them a lot. I've used these quite a bit, and they're very, very good. So this is the 320 grit, kind of the low grit stone. They do include what's called, in the box, a nagura, or a little chunk of stone. Let me get these out of the box here. Pack them pretty tight. So they include this nagura, which is, again, a small chunk of stone. Some people use to clean the top of the stone off. Some people use these. Some people don't use these. This is what one looks like out of the material. And then what other thing that's kind of nice, if you don't have a stone holder handy like this one, these do come in the box. These Suihiro Serax stones come with a rubberized stone holder that just fits on the bottom of this, and it's pretty snug as it should be. I've got the the plastic wrap on here. I'm not taking that off. But anyway, it fits on the bottom, and then that actually is quite grippy, and then you can just lay that on your countertop directly, and you kind of have a built-in stone holder. So each one of these includes that, includes the nagura and the rubberized stone base or holder. Of course, you won't need that if you're using this, and this will generally be preferable because it holds the water. It's a little bit larger. So there's that, and then this is the 1000 grit stone. They're a little different color. This one's more of a gray, this a light gray, this is white, but 1000 grit. To keep your stones straight, some of them will have monikers on them in terms of models or different things you might have on there. What I prefer to do, now that I've got this thing out, it's not wanting to go back in. Typical packaging, right? Put that over there. It's not wanting to do what I wanted to do. There we go. So what I like to do is to identify your stones. For most of them, what I do is I simply take and use a Sharpie on the edge of the side and just write it on there. I like the edges because I can see it real easy from both directions. And just write that Sharpie on there, and you are good to go. Simple, effective, will not fade unless you're starting to scrape that off, which you normally don't do with these. So that'll tell you what stone you've got. Nice little simple trick for you. If you are using the stones, you are dishing or wearing away part of the stone where you tend to sharpen on. That's called dishing. It doesn't take too long for that to get a little bit out of true or out of, perfectly billiard table flat. So periodically, some people do it every time they sharpen. If you got a dry stone, what I would suggest, and they suggest this on the webpage, but get yourself a just a regular lead pencil and put diagonal marks or squigglies all over the whole thing. Some people squiggle, some people put diagonals over it. Do it when it's dry, and then once you soak it and get it ready to roll and ready to flatten it, then as you work that stone, work that back and forth on there, flip your stone so you get both directions equally. Take a look. You'll see where your pencil's wearing away, and it'll be obvious where the low spots are and the high spots are. So a real simple trick: dry stone, squiggles, or diagonals with a pencil. Don't use pen, and then you can really easily flatten that thing out. And again, you can do it every time you sharpen, or if you're getting a little more advanced and you start using the other parts of the stone, so you're trying to keep it a little more equal. It'll make the stone last longer because you're not taking off those areas you're actually using them to sharpen. So this is a very nice kit with high quality stones, and will last you a long time and give you a lot of enjoyment. And the best thing is you'll have the sharpest knives around because you're sharpening them yourselves at your pace and leisure. So this is the Chef Knives to Go 4-piece sharpening set, in this case with the Serax 320, 1000 grit stone holder, and 140 grit diamond plate.